Hey guys, Thomas the Silly Jr. here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review the movie Truth or Dare. So apparently this is made by the people who made Happy Death Day and Get Out. Oof. This is probably their biggest stumble yet then, if those are the same creators. So yes, Truth or Dare. So the movie follows this girl after we see this other girl get truth or dare at a gas station. The shop owner gets the truth, says the truth or dare, and the girl that is in the dare is forced to burn this other lady. Thus, we cut to our main character, Olivia, and her best bud, blonde girl, Marquis. So, Marquis wants her to go off to Mexico instead of doing this, charitable event or whatever. So, her and I believe 4 other friends go with her off to Mexico. One of them being Tyson, and one of them being other names that I wrote later in my notes, so I'll get to that when I get to that. Anyway, one of them being Luke, which is currently Marky's boyfriend, so on and so forth. And during their little trip, Olivia meets this guy named Carter who wants to bring her to this location. For whatever reason, Olivia wants to go with him after a few drinks and just deciding, why not? They bump into another of their quote-unquote pals named Ronnie, who joins in on the little fun, the fun of Truth or Dare that Carter brings up. So Olivia starts off with the simple truth, and then they start doing stupid ones, like Lucas running around, dare to be run around naked. Two of the girls have to make out, stuff like that. So they start off pretty simple, and then Carter gets picked, and he picks Truth. In that, he tells them the truth about the game and how it is real. He begins to leave off, and as soon as he does, Olivia turns back to see that all her friends are mysteriously gone, and they appear behind her with these stupid, dumb faces that I've seen other reviewers already make fun of by the time I've already seen or started this review. So, one of the characters mentions how, they try to set it up that he's gay and that he has a homophobic dad at that point in time, to only put that on later for when that character has to obviously tell the truth about that. But Olivia is at her turn, so she's seeing the truth or dare all around. From her desk to her car, and then eventually a bunch of people come up at her, do the stupid smile thing, and then she blurts out a truth. So, the truth does involve Marquis, which gets her upset, which causes her to leave and watch a video of her father, setting up a future thing with the father. So anyways, all that goes on about. And, the whole breakup aspect is also relevant to Lucas, I guess. So, anyways, we cut to Ronnie, who is the next in the line to get Truth or Dare. He picks Dare, and he's dared by this random girl to show off his junk. He steps down when two ladies call out that he has a very small junk, and he steps down from the dare, which causes the stupid face to come over him, and it is this possession that causes him to slip on a ball and fall off of the the pool table and then land on another one, neck first. The rest of the crew sees death, and their reaction is, oh, that happened. And then one of the characters watches it again and is like, oh, that's cool. So this movie early on sets up that these characters aren't very likable, aren't very, you don't root for them pretty quickly within the movie, and it gets worse and worse as the movie goes on. So Lucas goes up and leaves, and then hears a voice as he's walking, and then he sees Truth or Dare on the wall. So he picked Truth, and he has to tell the truth about Olivia to Olivia. So anyways, Marky then doesn't believe, she was like put away, or she moved away. But then at that point, she eventually just picks Dare and she is forced to break Olivia's hand. So she does so. The gay guy that I mentioned earlier, I mentioned how the whole truth about his father was to come up, and then it comes up here. So he finally tells the father the truth, but that happens off screen. Tyson, one of the players from the get-go, sort of just left, and he was like with this other girl named, I believe her name was Penn. That's what they called her anyway. But anyways, he's getting like all these texts, and he's supposed to be this super savvy like doctor guy, and then he replies with the poop emoji. But he's in this office getting an interview. So Penn reveals his location, and as soon as they almost get to him, he is forced to tell the truth, but then lies instead. So he gets possessed and stabs himself with the pen and bangs his head against the wall. And then he's dead. So from that point forward, they believe their best plan is to only pick truth moving forward. So while that's going on, Marky is looking at this other video at someone who picked a dare, which is the video we see at the beginning with the girl lighting up the little shop. But then it is Penn's turn to do the truth or dare, while she's alone in the bathroom, crying because her boyfriend just died. And apparently she is forced to pick a dare, because later on we somehow learned that apparently the rules are specifically it's 2 truths and then you have to pick a dare for whatever reason. And the 2 previous people before her had picked truth, so it was her, her forced to pick a dare. So she's forced to walk across the roof while drinking a bottle. The others support her from beneath, holding up a bed while she moves along the roof. She almost gets to this fence, and she finishes up just in time and falls on the bed conveniently. They send a message to the girl from the beginning of the video. I believe her name was like Gazelle or something. I don't know. Anyway. Carter, we see, was forced to tell the truth, or we hear about that. In, all her little moments. So, Olivia, meets up with this officer, trying to tell him the truth about what's going on. He's, not believing much of it. And then they look at this old... She brings up her tablet to eventually pick the... Or she... Yeah, anyway, she eventually leaves after she takes a peck at one of the things. So Olivia, as she comes back, is makes her sure she picks Dare, and she's forced to have sex with DeLuca. So they do that, and obviously that only makes Marquis more upset. So they do the thing, and while they are doing that, it is then Lucas's turn. So while they are doing it, he confesses that he loves Marquis more. Hold on, I'm looking at my notes because I kind of scrolled down there. Whoops. Anyways, so Marquis also then picks the truth about this item that she has, and apparently it was a gun. So she goes to get it for whatever reason, because the Truth or Dare monster said, hey, you should go get that, even though I don't think that was a part of the dare, so I mean, it was a truth, so I don't see why she went to go do that. Anyways, she goes to do that because stupidity and future stuff. Anyways, Olivia finds out about this priest lady who was a part of one of the earlier games. They find out about a demon named Calyx, who is apparently one who possessed one of the earlier games in the past of hide and seek or whatever it was. And now it was sealed away, and then it was brought back out with the game Truth or Dare. So they find a way to apparently seal Calyx, and it requires a sacrifice and a chant, and then the cut off of the tongue of the person who started it, which apparently was the guy that brought them in there in the first place. And now, in my notes, I finally mentioned the gay guy's name, which is Brad. He gets picked and is forced to do a dare because of the two previous truths. So he's forced to steal his father's gun and then force his father to beg for his life. The father keeps abandoning the line of questioning of what Brad is forcing him to do, so he fails the dare. Oh, well, technically he doesn't, but he does get shot in the back, and then he gets killed that way, which is bizarre, by another cop, nonetheless. Then they're brought into this office, back into the police office, and Olivia once again picks Dare, but the creature, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, dares her to tell the truth about the whole situation with Sam's father. Apparently, her father was a creep who made the moves on her. She refused, which caused him to do the suicide, and it was all her responsibility and stuff, which makes Marquis even more upset. So then, then she takes the pick of the form, because that was her plan, to look up that Carter is the Sam character. They are the one and the same. He used the fake name to escape the alibi, but then they made the other girl slip up at that point, and so on and so forth. Anyways, Marquis, as I mentioned, almost shoots herself, but Olivia stops her. So they get to Carter, and Olivia dares Carter to try something on her own volition, like to step up to her, which I thought at that point in time, since he would commit suicide if the Truth or Dare was gonna go to him instantly because she did that, but that didn't happen anyway. So the three of them, the three remaining characters, Olivia, Lucas, and Marquis, force Sam to do the chant. In the middle of the chant, Lucas gets Truth or Dare. He picks Dare, and he is dared to kill either Marquis or Olivia. And because of the two previous truths, he was forced to it wasn't that, he just didn't want someone else to have to pick Dare, so he picked Dare at that point in time, and he got that Dare. So he refuses, and he gets possessed. But Lucas makes his way back under the possession, kills Sam first, then himself, in that possessed state, which also kills him. So, Marky is next to pick Truth or Dare. So she is dared to shoot Olivia. It is not specified where the shooting has to happen. So Olivia tricks the creature out by having her shoot her in the arm, and then the creature is like out and about, and Olivia then says Truth or Dare to it. It picks Truth. So, it says the game isn't over until they both die, and that is when Olivia decides that it is in her best interest for her and her friend to go back what she said on in the beginning of the film, where she would pick the rest of the Mexico over her friends in the dilemma choice, and now she is here spreading the Truth or Dare game all over the internet via a live feed all over the world, because she's apparently already a popular vlogger or whatever, or YouTuber or whatever, and she spreads her message all over the world of the Truth or Dare game, and we see that a bunch of people do watch it, and then one of the people within the several groups then becomes possessed, and that is the end of Truth or Dare. Oh boy, this movie is kind of a failure. With the stupid faces and the non-existing characters, or the characters that are so bland and unforgettable, it's just not worth rooting for anyone. Even more bizarrely, I found this out by doing a little bit of research, but apparently the Truth or Dare movie, this little movie, there was actually a sci-fi original movie that came out a year prior with the same exact name and premise. So this movie completely has a premise that has been done before. Whoops. Yeah, they kind of screwed the pooch on this one, with the stupid faces added to it, because the first Truth or Dare, the one without the big bong, into the, movie theaters, didn't have the stupid faces. It just had the rules of you had to pick Truth or Dare, and if you didn't do it, you would get killed. So it's the exact same premise, and everyone in that group dies, and, they have the same, this woman survived prior, and the only way she survived is by doing, picking a dare and then being smart about it, but her face was burned in the process of that dare, but she didn't burn herself to the point of, killing herself. So, but that's the other Truth or Dare, the sci-fi original movie. This one ends with a character that completely falls apart because of the game, or because of the way the movie is set up. It feels more like it came out of nowhere, to be honest. It didn't feel like there was enough time spent, and the whole demon aspect was, sort of thrown in there as a means to explain why the face thing happens and why the game is, like this. And the whole research part is very cliched, and the, splitting up and that aspect. In the sci-fi original movie, apparently you can share the truth share the dare, apparently. If the dare was, cut off your fingers or something, each member of the team could cut off a finger, and apparently that would, that would accomplish the dare. That never happens in this movie. It doesn't set up to be like, oh, you can share the dare. That never comes up. So at least in that respect, there is like some differences between the two same movies, essentially. But still, this movie kind of falls flat. And after seeing a great horror movie, I guess it was inevitable to see kind of a flop here. I would give it a 2 out of 10. It's just not really that great. But that is my review of Truth or Dare, and if you did enjoy the review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out that link in the description. It'll head you over to my Patreon page, and any donations are greatly appreciated. And until next, everyone, bye-bye!